and potentially going the distance this year. Tim, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be back.
The team had an amazing start, going 15-0 to start the season, and immediately championship expectations followed. Did you expect the Cavs to be this far ahead at this point in the season?
Oh, I'd be lying if I said I did, Jay, but it has been a remarkable start. And really, we're long past the start. As you said, we've passed the halfway mark of the season. So the sample size is there. This is a championship-level basketball team. Now, will they get there? That's why you play the second half of the season and go through the playoffs. But it's a team with a terrifically built roster. They've got the pieces. They've gained some valuable experience through tough playoff losses the past couple of years, but everything's in place.
In January, the Cavs had their first three-game losing streak. And as we said off air, the sky fell for fans and sports writers alike. It didn't really fall because, as we mentioned, and we'll say again, 8 points made the difference among 3 games. The question I have for you is, what effect does that loss have on a team's psyche and their motivation to win?
I don't think it bothers them too much, and don't take that the wrong way. Nobody likes to lose, especially ultra-competitive NBA basketball players. But that being said, they understand it's an 82-game marathon. 2 of the games they lost were to Houston, by the way, a really good basketball team, number 2 in the Western Conference. So it's a team that doesn't get too high after wins, and they don't get too low after losses. And so you're right. Everybody thought, oh, my, they're going to make a big deal. Oh, this thing isn't working. No, they lost 3 games to very good teams, or 2 of the 3 were to very good teams. The Philly loss, that was a tough one. But in the end, you put it behind you and you just keep moving forward.
Is it clear that the Cavs played better with Mobley, LeVert, and Okoro available? Judging from the losses during their absence, why are they so key to the team's performance?
Because of the defensive end of the floor. You look at the offensive numbers that the opponents put up in those 3 losses, and they were staggering. I mean, they were huge numbers. And Evan Mobley probably will be on the all-defensive team this year and will be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Isaac Okoro is an elite defender for the Cavaliers. LeVert is one of those guys that he gets out, and he's just a menace at the defensive end. So when you miss those guys defensively, it allows for the other team, obviously, to put up more points. So then the Cavs can't get out and run like they like to. So it's a domino effect, but the primary impact of that, Jay, was on the defensive end of the floor.
There have been some surprises off the bench, most notably recently Tristan Thompson playing 26 minutes in a game, which I can't remember the last time he did that. And, his rebounds and his defense were fantastic. And then, of course, Ty Jerome continues to be a wower this year.
Ty Jerome, to me, and there's all sorts of storylines with this basketball team, but Ty Jerome, if you said pick one story this year, I'd go with Jerome. He played a game and a half last year. People forgot he was on the roster. He played in game 1, played about half of game 2, and was gone. So just an amazing story for him, not only to struggle through not playing last year, but all the rehab that he went through, and the contribution that he now gives off the bench is superb. Night in and night out. And to your point about Tristan Thompson, he's an ultimate professional. He had a lot of did not plays or a lot of, get in the final few minutes during mop-up time, but he always stays ready. He knows that at some point his number will be called. And we talked about those injuries earlier. That's when his number was called. And as the true professional that he is, he came in and he provided the minutes and he provided the play that the Cavaliers needed.
Plus, he's also a good senior voice on the bench, just in terms of having had that, long-term playoff experience and being the veteran that he is.
No doubt. He's a huge locker room guy, and you can't discount that. He talks to these young kids about what it takes to win an NBA championship. He's done that, what it takes to make a deep run in the playoffs. He's done that. So he's a guy that the other players look up to. They relish the professionalism, the experience that he brings. There's no doubt about that.
Earlier this season, when they had their undefeated start and set those records, the question came, are these guys even beatable? Well, we know the answer. They lost twice to Houston, as you mentioned. They also lost twice to Atlanta, and they've lost to Boston and Oklahoma City along the way. They are beatable. But what must they do to improve to win the championship this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you look at a roster that, as you said, was 15-0 and then 35-6 at the halfway point. There's not a lot of areas that you go, man, that's a real weakness with this team. Now, you mentioned the teams that did beat the Cavaliers and then have beaten them. They're teams with long athletic wings. So with the trade deadline looming, I could see where they may go into the market looking for something like that, but I don't foresee a big blockbuster type of deal. This is a team with great chemistry, and Kenny Atkinson has built that in the culture, and so you got to be very careful about that. You mentioned the locker room. That's important. A winning team has to have a strong locker room, and so you take that into account when you talk about making the deal. But if the Cavs were to bring somebody in, I think it would be one of those wing-type players because the teams that have beaten the Cavs, that's how they've been able to do it.
Well, you never know who will come out of retirement. and I'm only referring to the Isaiah Thomas story. I'm like, I don't know about this one.
I was going to say, I'll just let that one sit there a little bit.
Absolutely. All right, Tim, thank you. When we come back, we've got some good news for FC Cincinnati fans next on the Ohio News Network.
Rothman and Ice are headed to the Big Easy for the football game that we're not allowed legally to say the name of.
Sponsored by Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Listen on the Fan. Watch it on the tube. Do it.
Get ready for the big game with fan favorites like buy one, get one free extra large avocados. Plus, buy 5, save $5 deals when you mix or match other go-to items like assorted varieties of DiGiorno frozen pizza, 24 packs of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products plus deposit where applicable, and Sweet Baby Ray's marinade or sauce. Shopping at Meijer makes game day a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
You hear that? That's the sound of the new Tim Hortons pairings calling your name. Whether rushing to the car or grabbing a quick bite on your way to work, Tim's has a breakfast deal designed for your busy life. Choose from a warm small cup of coffee with our savory omelet bites or creamy avocado toast for just $4. Or grab a hearty grilled breakfast wrap with coffee for just $5. A delicious pairing at your convenience to tackle the day. At participating U.S. restaurants, excludes grilled breakfast wrap with beef. Terms apply.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fewer restrictions apply.
Now's a great time to save on fresh Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're on sale for just $2.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at the Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results. And more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get older, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-228-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
News, opinions, and insight, all before breakfast. Rise and shine with Morning Juice.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Neil Sika is a play-by-play announcer for MLS Season Pass and joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Welcome, my friend.
Jay, always great to be with you. Hard to believe the season's only about a month away.
I know, right? Well, let's dig into FC Cincinnati. Let's investigate what FC Cincinnati needs to do as they prepare for this new season.
Well, number one, I think it's getting all players in camp. Pat Noonan made a big statement earlier this week as they're heading down to Florida in the preseason, and they will play in the CONCACAF Champions Cup for the very first time. Montagua, their opponent, right before the start of the MLS season. So international competition based on the way they finished in the standings. So making sure you have squad depth, probably taking a page out of what Columbus has done. And I mentioned how revered I feel about Pat Noonan and his coaching job down there and how they've turned it around. But you didn't have Yuya Kubo, who was their Swiss Army knife midfielder, getting into camp on time. And then the saga of Lucho Acosta, the MVP from a couple of seasons ago, the fact that he spoke out after, and maybe emotionally after the New York City series, if he didn't know if he wanted to be there or move on. But it looks like he's in the process of arriving this week after a week-long holdout. So you're getting those guys into place. Also, Luca Orejano, the excellent wingback they brought in, was also holding out or wasn't arriving on time to camp. But he's gotten in there. He's taken his physical. So they're behind the 8 ball, and that's frustrating for a coach because you're preparing for this international competition. You don't have a lot of time in the preseason to get acclimated for that.
So Neil, is he the guy who's replacing Burial?
Well, Burial went on loan last season, and so they brought him in, and I thought he was even a lot more productive than Bariel was. But Bariel just had an offer to stay at Santos, or the club that had him on loan. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think Orejano was a fantastic pickup. His ability to score from the wing, to play in that wing-back role, coming in on loan from Vasco da Gama. So I think they upgraded when it came to that position. And I think on the back half for FC Cincinnati, you mentioned some of what was key for them in the offseason, getting Matt Miazga healthy and getting him back from the season-ending injury that he suffered. And then they went out and spent. I think they've had this carousel of trying to find the right forward piece, looking for their own type of Cucho Hernandez up top. And they think they've got it with Kevin Denke, this Togolese forward who played in Belgium, record transfer in MLS for now at $16.2 million they went on and spent. So they are putting the priority on making sure that they've got the pieces up top that can roll with Orellana, who's also a great distributor, and of course Acosta, who makes magic happen out there from the attacking midfield position. So they're loading up, they're building their depth, knowing they're going to need it, and they want to be serious contenders, just like the team above them in the north that won the MLS Cup title 2 years ago.
Who replaces Yerson Mosquera? He went to the Wolves, right?
Yes, Mosquera's gone. I think the pieces that they're looking at, Hadibi comes in off of a free. He was emerging with Houston a couple of years ago. So Pat Noonan's going to find the right pieces, and I think they're not done shopping. Bupenza obviously left. It didn't work there in terms of the forward role, but I like what FC Cincinnati's been able to do, and you can be patient. Like, just because the season's starting, you got time in the window to go out and find the right fit. I think that's sometimes you're preoccupied with thinking get the player, but not really the right personnel piece. And I think teams sometimes rush that just to appease maybe the fan base. But now you've got a long marathon ahead where you can wait and take your time, and Chris Albright will make the right decisions and push the right buttons like he has done since he came into the GM role for FC Cincinnati.
All right, one last Queen City question. FC Cincinnati is leading a bid to bring a National Women's Soccer League expansion team to Cincinnati. Is that a reality?
I think it can be a reality. And I think you've got the Cleveland bid, too, making a push. Denver was just announced as another team heading to the NWSL. I think if you've got the popularity right now of what Hell is Real has become on the Columbus and Cincinnati front, if it works out in Cleveland and you have one in Cincinnati, then I think that would be great for the league. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of bureaucratic red tape sometimes when it comes to getting a team over the line, especially when there are competing markets. But Cincinnati has proven to show that it's a great soccer market with the way they've supported the club, not only in MLS, the beautiful stadium, but what they've done at the USL level and how they were garnering those crowds at the University of Cincinnati. So I think it would be an excellent fit, just like I think Cleveland would be a great market for an additional women's team down the road.
The Cincinnati Enquirer reports that the Ohio Department of Development has awarded Major League Soccer's FC Cincinnati $26 million in tax credits from the agency's transformational mixed-use development program. This enables the team to fund stadium renovations and begin construction on the TQL Stadium adjacent entertainment district. It's a $332 million development, which is expected to create over 2,000 construction jobs and almost 1,700 permanent jobs on the site. The team plans to move its offices there upon completion. We want to thank Neil Sika, the play-by-play announcer for MLS Season Pass, for talking with us, and we will have more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
Ohio's colleges and universities are welcoming spaces where people of all backgrounds and beliefs come together to share ideas and become stronger critical thinkers. We should celebrate the innovative work of our higher education faculty and their dedication to using their collective voices to create the best learning conditions possible.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
If you need health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Terrence and Jody when they got married, and Sophia when she had a baby, and Gary when he moved and needed new insurance. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me.
Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now, let's check in with Matt Andrews for this week's Ohio Broadcaster Roundtable.
Welcome back to the Ohio Sports Magazine. It's our privilege to bring on the voice of the Bengals and UC Bearcats. Our friend Dan Horde joins us on the Ohio Sports Magazine this week. Dan, you're busy too. A lot going on. You've got basketball coming up for the Bearcats in Utah. But let's talk about the Super Bowl matchup, which is set. Just initial thoughts on Kansas City versus Philadelphia, please.
Kansas City can't do it again. Can they, Matt? They can't pull another game out of thin air in a year that's been full of them. But then again, never bet against Patrick Mahomes. But honestly, I do think that this year the Philadelphia Eagles are the better team. And I can say that from having seen both in person. The Bengals played at Kansas City in week 2 of the regular season. They hosted the Eagles a few weeks after that. The tougher game was Philadelphia. I really think the addition of Saquon Barkley has taken the Eagles to a new level. Not that I'm breaking news with that statement, but their dominant performance over Washington last weekend suggests to me that this is a team that has been well constructed this year. They're gelling at the right time, and I think they are going to emerge from New Orleans with a Super Bowl trophy.
Does the idea of this being in New Orleans, does it enhance it at all? I mean, I know the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl no matter where it's played, but can we add any more different juice to what Kansas City brings to this by the destination simply being in New Orleans?
I can say this. I've been to 2 Sugar Bowls in New Orleans. I've been to 1 Super Bowl. Green Bay and New England years ago. I've been to a couple of Final Fours in New Orleans, and I say all of that to set this up. I believe that New Orleans is the best city in the world to host a major sporting event. Everything is within walking distance, and I imagine some people listening have been to big Ohio State events there before, but everything is within walking distance. You see the fans from both teams congregating on a daily and nightly basis in the French Quarter. And for some reason, because it's in New Orleans, where the perpetual vibe is to relax and have a good time, those interactions between the fan bases tend to be more civil there than they are anywhere else. So I think Kansas City and Philadelphia fans that make the trip to the Big Easy are going to have a fantastic time, at least until the game is over and their team didn't win. Then they'll be depressed for a little while. But I think it's going to be an awesome setting, and there's a reason why. I think this is Super Bowl number 11 or 12 in New Orleans. It's a great place to have the game.
Dan, you called the Bengals and Rams February 13th Super Bowl in 2022. The 2-week leg of the layoff between the championship games and the Super Bowl, does it drag on, or do you blink and miss it?
Blink and miss it. It's the opposite of dragging on, at least as a first-timer in the 2021 season. Maybe for the Chiefs right now or for the Patriots during the Brady era when they were going on a almost yearly basis. Maybe at that point the 2 weeks drag on because you're used to the ticket demands and the media demands and all the things that go with getting ready for a Super Bowl. But when you're a first-timer or a team that doesn't go very often, there's so many things to try to get done that first week that it's gone before you even know it was there.
Dan Hoard, our guest, the voice of the Bengals and the Bearcats. Dan, what's the greatest memory you take from that Super Bowl in L.A.?
It's a very personal one for me, Matt, and that would simply be getting ready to go on the air at the beginning of the pregame show with that realization that I am about to call a Super Bowl, because you never know when you get into this business that you'll have opportunities to be involved in games like that. And the knowledge that if my team wins, I'm going to be the lucky person that gets to say whatever that's going to be remembered by fans for many, many years to come. So unfortunately, it didn't play out that way for Cincinnati against the Rams in the 2021 season, but I genuinely believe that in the Burrow era, I'll have another shot, or hopefully shot, at that moment. And that was the thing that was so special for me, just that knowledge that, wow, this thing that I dreamed of doing when I was a little kid, I not only get to do it, but I'm getting to do it at a Super Bowl, and that was really cool.
Dan Hoard is our guest, a 4-time Ohio Sportscaster of the Year. Dan, let's talk about your UC time. Obviously, the Bearcats in the basketball season with Wes Miller, new league in the Big 12. UC 12-7, rather, as we record this going into tonight's game. You're in Utah. Give me a thought or two on the Bearcats in the Big 12 and how that's gone this year for this UC team.
Well, it's been a disappointment over the past several weeks. Cincinnati had a great non-conference start to the season. They were 10-1. They reached number 16 in the country. Ohio State fans may remember that they met in a non-conference exhibition game prior to the start of the regular season, and Cincinnati played extremely well in that exhibition game. So we thought that the Bearcats were poised to, be one of the better teams in the Big 12 this year, and unfortunately that has not been the way it's gone. They're 2-6 in league play. If you believe in Joe Lunardi's bracketology at this point of the season right now, they would not make the NCAA tournament. So they've still got time to fix that, but they're going to have to start winning league games pronto. They play the University of Utah tonight in Salt Lake. Utah's not great this year. They haven't been drawing particularly well at home, so I don't think it's going to be a super difficult environment in terms of the noise and things like that. So it would be extremely helpful for Cincinnati to get a road win tonight and then head back home this weekend and try to get another against West Virginia on Sunday.
Dan's a close friend. We grew up and started in baseball. I started in baseball. You've been doing this forever. We're nearing better weather. Pitchers and catchers soon. I know you're not calling baseball every day now, but do you still miss the game a little bit when this time of year comes around?
I don't miss the life, Matt. Maybe it's the same for you. I miss the sport. I miss broadcasting baseball. I don't miss the life of being an everyday baseball broadcaster and being gone that much of the time. I mean, not only are you on the road for half of the summer, but even when you're home, you're not really home. You go to the ballpark early in the day and you don't get home until midnight or whatever. But having said all that, I still love the sport. I love living in Cincinnati and being able to watch the Reds. And with the hiring of Terry Francona, I think that is the single best off-season move that any team made in Major League Baseball this year. I think he's that good. I was the voice of their AAA team in Pawtucket, Rhode Island for several years when Terry was Boston's manager. I saw how great he was at guiding their Major League team back then, and obviously he was terrific in his years in Cleveland. So I think that, no exaggeration, I think adding Terry Francona as manager is worth 10 wins. I think he's that good. So if that's the case, that makes Cincinnati a contender in their division, and hopefully that's the way it plays out, because it's been a long time for Reds fans.
Dan Hoard, you're the best. Thanks for your time. We continue to listen and keep those Bengals and Bearcats rolling, all right?
Will do. Thanks for having me on, Matt.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Common Man and T-Bone.
You don't go into this profession if you're a normal person. You're crazy. Bone's crazy. Let's just acknowledge that we're all crazy.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be me.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Maryland Terrapins at the Shot on February 6th. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Save big money on your next project at Menards. Brighten up your garage or workspace with a 6,000 lumen 3-panel LED light from GT Light. It's 7 times brighter than traditional incandescent light bulbs and features 3 adjustable panels allowing you to shine light where you need it most. Stock GT Light LED utility bulbs are on sale. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at the Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results. And more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A chilly start for us, but we rebound nicely as we go into the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies to start and temperatures in the upper 20s, giving way to a cloudy to mostly cloudy day with highs right around 50 degrees. We also could see a chance of some isolated showers in the afternoon. As we go into the evening, temperatures not as cold overnight, and for Monday's forecast, expected to see dry conditions with highs remaining far above average. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan. This is ONN.
Not too long after Ohio State beat Notre Dame on January 20th for college football's national championship, did the focus of many shift to next season and how the Buckeyes can repeat as champions in 2025. Vegas odds makers like Ohio State to repeat, as well as freshman quarterback Julian Sain and wide receiver Jeremiah Smith to be in the running for the 2025 Heisman Trophy. That's given its season's end to the most outstanding player in the sport. Other players getting early Heisman hype are Louisiana State quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, as well as Texas signal caller Arch Manning. The Longhorns will be in Columbus to begin the season on Saturday, August 30th. Paul Feinbaum covers college football at large for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS-FM in Columbus. Paul says because of the playoffs, it's almost impossible to predict anything in college football.
And we're talking about Garrett Nussmeier from LSU as one of the favorites for a Heisman, and he really wasn't that good last year, Bo. I mean, LSU lost 4 games, and Brian Kelly went from hero to hot seat. You start talking about Drew Aller, and listen, I mean, I've watched this guy not as much as you have, but I'm not that enamored by him or his group around him. So I think the playoff is the equalizer. Now last year, if you had given me Georgia and Ohio State versus the field, I would have taken it probably. And obviously lived to tell about it, but I think there's a lot of elements, and I still think there's a few question marks, and I think probably the biggest in the country is Arch Manning. He'll get the most attention. We think he's going to be great, but how do we really know?
That's where I'm headed next with you, because I'm looking at a lot of this stuff, and they have Texas, of course, Ohio State open the season against each other next year here in town. Ohio State's talent is well known. Julian Sain, who folks in your neck of the woods knew for a brief minute with his stop in Tuscaloosa for a couple of weeks. But it'll be those two guys likely going head-to-head in that one. You've been certainly the Manning family, and you know that family well, and everything that kind of comes with it. We've never seen anything like this. A kid sit for 2 years, be patient, and wait his turn. And then if you would have told me that the way Texas would use him when Quinn Ewers wasn't hurt was kind of as like a third down back, I would have said you're nuts. I mean, you would have thought he was like prototypical passer. When you talk to people who have seen him play a lot or folks around the Texas program, what is he?
I think what he is somebody who we expect being the operative word, to be very poised. A couple weeks ago when we were in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl, we did 2 days at Manning's restaurant, and easily the highlight of that trip was about a 25, 30-minute conversation I had on one of those days with Archie Manning, the grandfather. And when you're around that family, and I know Archie best, I do know Peyton a little bit, and Eli sparingly. I don't know Cooper, the father of Arch. They're different. You've been around these type of legacy families, although I don't know if there is quite a family like this, and it's ingrained upon them at the earliest age. They are not one to worry about money and things that most of us gravitate towards. So I think that is in his favor, but still. I don't know if you could dial up a worse place to open your career as a starter than in Columbus against the defending national champion. On the other side of that, I do want to say something about Julian Sain. He didn't get much attention a year ago when he left Alabama because it was all about Caleb Downs. Mm-hmm. But I always thought that was the one that hurt Alabama the most because, I mean, Nick Saban spent a lot of time recruiting him. It was a big deal. I mean, there was a lot of talk coming from a similar area that Bryce Young and you know more about what Julian Sain's up to these days than I do. But that was a devastating blow to Alabama that was somewhat pushed under the rug because he was only a backup at the time. A backup. I mean, I don't know if he had a high school degree yet.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you. Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke. Well, it was a hard-fought campaign.
Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia.
Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch.
Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now.
Only at Great Lakes Kia.
Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months.
Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third row seating, don't we?
And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke.
Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
But what about credit? Come on, man.
If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day.
Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com.
My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Plus tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in. That's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. Baths are us. When dreams don't get in. Baths are us.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gas. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at the Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results. And more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule, from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Kansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Let's talk Cincinnati Reds baseball and hear from Jeff Carr of Locked On Reds with our own Matt Andrews.
Back on this week's show, Locked On Reds contribution from Jeff Carr. Jeff, what's going on with this team as we near February? In February, we've got a situation here where the Reds are, to me, the excitement level is as high as it's ever been. Take us into the temperature right now, what you see with this franchise.
I really think after the recent shopping spree that Nick Kroll has had, I think things have started to come together. There was a lot of worrying and there was a lot of confusion as to what the Reds have done to this point where it's been something. You know, they added pitching depth with Brady Singer and Nick Martinez, and they added to their depth on the infield with Gavin Lux. But as a lot of people were pointing out, they had just traded away Jonathan India, so why did they go get Gavin Lux? And there was a lot of confusion with all of that. But adding Austin Hayes, adding Taylor Rogers, and adding Wade Miley has really sort of brought this into a bigger picture. It's put the puzzle together for a lot of folks. And the way that I see it, this is the offseason that really was all focused on Terry Francona. They were getting a nice roster together. Did they go get the big fish? No. But instead of the one quality player, they brought in a lot of quantity of solid players. And I think that's going to serve them well throughout the year.
Jeff, it's hard to ignore the experience Terry brings back, the expectations that he provides in year one. I spoke with Dan Horde, who had Tito in minor league ball back in his career. He thinks Tito brings about 10 wins to this organization, just in Terry Francona in general. You agree with that?
I could definitely see it. I think the reporting that everyone has done on Terry Francona's career and kind of, bringing it all together, I think of the players that he has managed and the guys that there's a lot of people wonder if they played for a different manager, how different their careers would be. And he's had talent. I mean, Jose Ramirez was not a nobody whenever he was managing him, but he turned him into one of the top 5 players in all of Major League Baseball. And now here he has Elly De La Cruz to do the same. But there's other guys on this team that it just kind of seemed like they had weird down years. Spencer Steer, he still hit over 20 homers, but quite frankly, everything else was a little bit down for him. Will Benson fell off the face of the earth. Noelvi Marte sort of kind of not really torpedoed his career, but there's a lot of fans that are wondering if he's going to ever pan out to be the guy that we hoped he could be. CES with injuries, Matt McLain with injuries. The opportunity is just there's so many opportunities for Terry Francona to put his stamp on this organization. And I feel like a lot of the things that he has said this offseason would lead me to believe that that's going to get done. 10 wins, I mean, I'll take 10 wins because that puts them at 88 wins before they even made any moves. I would love to see that, but that's going to put you in contention for the division this year.
Jeff, you're always so gracious with your time. Thanks again, and we look forward to spring training getting started.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Go Reds.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Ohio's colleges and universities are welcoming spaces where people of all backgrounds and beliefs come together to share ideas and become stronger critical thinkers. We should celebrate the innovative work of our higher education faculty and their dedication to using their collective voices to create the best learning conditions possible.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
If you need health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Terrence and Jody when they got married, and Sophia when she had a baby, and Gary when he moved and needed new insurance. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
I
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me.
Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys talked about Browns general manager Andrew Berry saying that the team would not be trading Myles Garrett this offseason.
Right or wrong decision, Jay Crawford, in your opinion, for Andrew Berry to come out and make a strong stance that Myles Garrett is a Cleveland Brown and will remain a Cleveland Brown for the 2025 season?
It's wrong because general managers typically should never, ever, ever tip their hand in anything. But here's why it's okay. Because Tennessee is not going to draft Abdul Carter. The Browns are. And there's no chance that Tennessee is going to draft Abdul Carter, so it's okay. Follow my logic. Myles Garrett in Week 16, I don't know what my future holds. I don't know. I got to do what's best for me. I want to win. Fast forward a week. I'm going to have a conversation with management to see where we're going. Fast forward a few days. It's all good, man. We're not as far away as you think. Something's coming soon. Okay, I put that through my decipher, and here's what I came out with. In their sit-down, they told him, for the first time in your tenure as a Cleveland Brown, we're going to give you a real bookend, a real threat at pass rush. We're going to go out, and we're going to get a man among boys in college and someone that we think can be a Bosa-level pass rusher in the NFL, and we're going to draft Abdul Carter. And we're going to make our defense stout. That's step one. We're not going to draft a quarterback because the quarterback that's going to turn this franchise around isn't in this draft. And Myles Garrett suddenly was like, cool, we're not as far away as I thought, and expect something soon. So I expect very soon, and I think that was my theory. It's been confirmed with Barry's comments yesterday. They're all in on the defensive pass rush. They've told Myles Garrett what he needed to hear. They're going to give him a long-term extension that will ensure he retires as a Cleveland Brown. That's good for us. So, yeah, I don't really mind that they came out and said all of this because, to me, it telegraphs that they're going to take Abdul Carter in the draft.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Dustin.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
I don't read that much into it. I think Andrew Berry is not going to trade Myles Garrett, even though I think they probably should.
What did he tell him, Dustin,
I don't know.
that made him stand down? Because we were at an impasse. Well, he was saying clearly, this ain't it, and I need some assurances from management that we're going to do something.
So my thoughts on this are just a couple things. Number one, like Myles Garrett's going to be 30, right, next year, and he's going to want to. He's actually like relatively cheap for the Browns right now, so he's going to want a contract extension.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's going to want paid big time money, and the Browns, I'm sure, probably told him something along the lines that they will do that here.
But he also wants to win.
Soon.
He doesn't want to be Joe Thomas Part 2.
Nobody does.
Nobody
I
does.
don't think.
And I think that.
But I don't know, man. I think that he wants the bag, and then he wants to win.
And by the way, I agree with that in that order.
But I also think that Andrew Berry, no GM, by the way, wants to be the guy that trades one of the franchise's best players.
No.
It's just a bad look, and it puts you in a tough spot. Like if he goes on to whatever. Like you trade him somewhere else.
I mean, forget if he goes out to. We already know what he is.
But here's the thing, man. Like think about this. You give Myles Garrett an extension, okay? All the good players on the Browns are about the same age as him.
There's a core that are around that age.
The point is, when Myles, like, if you give a contract to Myles Garrett for the next, let's say you give him a 4-year deal or whatever, something like that. Okay, so he can be 34. Are the Browns going to be good in 4 years?
That's the hope.
Do you think? I mean, it's like I don't know.
Put it this way: if they asked that question in Washington last year, Are they going to be good 4 years from now? They would have said no.
Right, because they got
and they did it in one.
So if you get lucky with the quarterback, which is the number one thing, and that's why I think that there's no way they don't draft a quarterback at 2.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings on hundreds of items every time you shop. With new low prices, deals for days, weekly sales, and My Perks at your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron.
Superheroes! I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Maryland Terrapins at the Shot on February 6th. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you. Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke. Well, it was a hard-fought campaign. Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia. Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch. Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now. Only at Great Lakes Kia. Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months. Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third row seating, don't we? And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke. Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia. But what about credit? Come on, man. If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day. Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at The Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results, and more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach Natalie is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule, from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Big thank yous to Neil Sika and Tim Alcorn for being my guests on this week's episode of Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.